Hey guys, Breakwizard59 here, and today I'm coming at you with some more LEGO Star Wars set ideas for Star Wars episodes 4 through 7. In my previous video, I did set ideas on Star Wars episodes 1 through 3. If you haven't checked that video out, definitely check that out. And stay tuned for set ideas from the Clone Wars. That will be the next episode. And that's going to be a really fun one as there are so many sets that haven't been made from the Clone Wars. But today we're going to take a look at Star Wars episodes 4 through 7. So basically how this works, I'll be going over sets that LEGO still has not made from these three movies, plus sets that kind of need to be remade if they haven't been remade for at least 5 to 10 years. But now, let's go ahead and take a look at Star Wars Episode 4, A New Hope. Now, before we get started, these episodes were actually a bit more difficult to get sets out of, as this one has about, in all, 30 slides, which is the same amount as our previous video, meaning there are less sets per movie. And because LEGO has made so many of the iconic sets from Star Wars episodes 4 through 6 and then 7, so it was definitely a bit tough, but now let's go ahead and take a look. Alright, first off, this one I kind of mentioned in my episodes 1 through 3 video. This is the Tantive 4 or Blockade Runner. We definitely like to see this set made again. So many folks missed out on it. It's a really nice set, it has some great details, and maybe one more of these, maybe even in a different color of blue would be really nice. Next off, this is Uncle Owen's house. This was seen briefly in Star Wars Episode 4 and would be a great set to have. Maybe someone of us placed that version where you can open up and see various rooms, which would be a really nice set. Then you can also get some exclusive Uncle Owen and Peru minifigures, and then Luke as well. Next off, this is like a Tusken Raider encounter. So basically in this set, what you could have is a couple of brick-built banthas, maybe a few Tusken Raiders. So it's a mini Tusken Raider battle pack of sort, maybe $20-$30. And you could include Luke's Land Speeder too, or maybe Obi-Wan or something. Next off, this is Obi-Wan's house. So what we have here, we can have just like, it's basically like a modular styled house of Obi-Wan where you can include some of his various features, and Luke's lightsaber, maybe some of his living quarters and all. Next off, this is a bit more of a TIE Fighter collection. So basically what we have here, this was actually a set released back in 2003 or 2002, I believe. Maybe 2004, sorry. But basically this has like various different TIE fighters. That'd be a really cool one to have with like a new Darth Vader's TIE and some playset versions of the TIE fighters. Next off, another cool one. This is Yavin 4. Now this was actually like a prototype set that LEGO actually made, but it was scrapped at the end. But this would be a cool set to have, definitely. Something similar to this image here on the screen, where you have like a landing bay, you have the ceremonial area, and maybe a few guards and pilot minifigures. So that's it for episode 4. So many sets, the iconic sets were already made from episode 4. That's why there weren't as many. And now episode 5 is actually going to be even less here as we take a look. First off, we skip right away to Yoda's hut. There's no hot stuff as that's been made so much, even like this year. So I haven't included any hot stuff, no Millennium Falcon. We go straight to Yoda's hut. So this would be a really nice set to have, as this was released in the Yoda's hut and X-Wing in 2004. But we'd just like to have a set just having Yoda's hut by itself, and maybe like a full Yoda's hut instead of just like the outer layer of it. And you can include some cool designs and maybe even a new exclusive Luke in his training outfit. Next off, this is kind of what I was getting to in the previous one. You can maybe combine these sets or have a different one, but this is kind of like Luke's training. Once again, you can include like Yoda in a few parts. Maybe you can combine that and Yoda's hut. That'd be a really nice set to have. And maybe include a cool new Yoda, maybe a bit more similar to the episode 5 style. Next off, Slave 1. I know we got the UCS Slave 1, but we haven't got a playset Slave 1 for 6 years, so I decided to put it on the list. And what we can do different here as because they just made the UCS Slave One, they really have a good idea of how the Slave One looks, and they can kind of use some of those techniques here in a playset model, which would be really nice. And this time, of course, for minifigures include all five bounty hunters like Dengar, IG-86, um, Bosk, like all of them, and then of course Boba Fett instead of just including one or two. I think that'd be a really cool set. Next off, we jump right to the Twin Pod Cloud Car. This is a cool set. Was released in I don't know 2003, I believe, and it was or 2002. Sorry. But this was a really nice set. They haven't re-released it in minifigure scale. They did have that like mini set version with those like planets, but that would be a really cool set to remake in a bit more accurate orange color. In this one, I'm going to talk a bit more about this. This is Cloud City, a set so many people want remade. This is actually a mock that one person made. I'll have a link in the description if you want to check out this mock. But basically, we need a new Cloud City for sure. And this is a really nice way to do it. This is like a cool like playset version where we have like two layers. So you can make something like this for maybe like $100, $120, and have all these cool parts. Maybe you have some brand new like Cloud City Luke. So many folks want that. Have once again maybe Boba Fett, Han Solo, all the cool figures in their new updated outfits that so many folks wanted. Maybe you have Lobot and some cool Bespin guards would be really nice to have. But this is definitely a set LEGO really needs to remake. Alright, so there you go. That's episode 5. Now we move on to episode 6, Return of the Jedi. Alright, we jump straight to the Battle of Endor. Now here's the thing, if you think about it, in episode 6, what happens at the beginning, we have the encounter with Jabba in his palace in the sail barge. Sets have already been made for that. Then the two guys depart ways. One go to the fleet for the rebellion, which is Han and those guys, and then Luke goes to Dagobah. Again, sets of those have been made. And then we go from there to all the thing with the shuttle Titanium going on to Endor, and that's kind of where we're starting off. So we already had a shuttle Titanium. So, and then they go on to the Endor base and all, which I'll get into it just a bit. But first off, we have a ATST. One set that definitely needs to be remade, as last time we got a ATST, believe it or not, was 2010 or 2011. But the last time we got a true playset version was 2007. So definitely a long time. And definitely we need to see a new ATST remade. Next off, this is like a speeder bikes chase scene with Luke and like a couple speeder bikes, maybe some parts of Endor. That'd be a really nice set. Have Luke in his exclusive like Endor outfit. Next off, the Battle of Endor. This is again happening near the end of the movie. We really do need to see this set remade. This was an awesome set. Anything similar to this but remade would be great. You could have some cool updated figures. So many folks weren't able to get this set, even though it was actually a bit more of an exclusive set, and it would have been a really nice set to see remade. Next off, I know this might be a bit out of order, but this is like the Endor base for the large landing base. Maybe even have a mini scale version of this or something, or maybe have a large $200 scale version of this. But that'd be a really nice set to have. Maybe include a Imperial shuttle on it. Have Darth Vader. Maybe the scene where Luke is being handed over to Vader. That'd be really nice. And then this is like those Mon Calamari space cruisers, like that whole fleet for the rebellion. Maybe this set would definitely be a bit more tough to have made in a playset version. It's probably a mini scale version would be perfect for this set. There you go, that's episode 6. Now let's move on to episode 7. First off, now before we get started, I know episode 7, only 2 waves of sets have come out. Many more are to come out for sure. And so definitely many of these sets will probably be made. But at this point, I just wanted to give my thoughts on these sets. First off, this is the attack on the village on Jakku. Now I know we had the Resistance X-wing with a little bit of Jakku, like one of those moisture evaporators and things. But basically, we need to see an actual village scene where we actually have a few huts, a few of the bounty hunters, or not bounty hunters, a few of the resistance, and maybe like a few more troopers. Maybe even include Kylo Ren and a bit of a cheaper set, that kind of thing. I think we really need to see actual like village scene. Next off, one that really needs to be made and probably actually will. This is the First Order Star Destroyer. I myself actually made a mock of this just a few days ago. If you haven't checked that out, that's actually one of my latest videos. Um, but basically, this is a set that very many folks want to be made. And basically, for this, we can do is a bit of a playset version. Where just like the other Imperial Star Destroyers would be a really nice set to have some cool exclusive figures as well. Next off, now this is again a bit of a tougher one. Probably either we can do a playset version. This is Han's Frigate. We can either do a playset version or a mini scale version of this set. This is what he used after losing the Millennium Falcon. Next up, this is a quad jumper. We didn't really see it too much. I think this was one of those ships that was destroyed on Jakku. And basically, this would be a really nice set to have. Maybe include Ankar Plut once again. And, you know, this is a pretty cool set to have. Next off, this is actually a mock by Lego Provo Bro Productions. Um, but basically, we need a Starkiller base playset version. So this would be similar to the Death Star playset version, except have rooms for Starkiller base. This was a great mock done by Lego Provo Bro Productions, so definitely check out his video. It has almost 300k views, so that's really nice. But a playset version of Starkiller base would be great. Next off, this is the First Order AT-AT. We didn't really get too much of a glimpse of this set in Episode 7, probably will in Episode 8, but this is definitely a cool set to be made, definitely, so we can have a comparison of how it looks compared to the older AT-ATs. Next off, this is a bit of a scene where Rey and Finn fight Kylo Ren, maybe a bit of a smaller scene, include some background like trees and all, maybe some snow. Maybe we can get a $20-$30 set, so it's kind of cheap, and you can get some of the main 3 most iconic figures in a bit of a cheaper set. And I'm pretty sure this is the last one, some sort of set with Snoke. Now, of course, Episode 8 hasn't come out, so we don't know exactly too much about Snoke, but maybe depending on what happens in Episode 8, maybe have some sort of set just with Supreme Leader Snoke would be really nice. But there you go. So this was a bit more of a quicker video as we got through all of the 4 episodes. But once again, that's a look at some of these set ideas for Star Wars episodes 4 through 7. Not as many as episodes 1 through 3, because so many of the iconic things in episodes 4 through 7 have already been made. And there are a few things that definitely need to be remade. But definitely, this was actually a bit more difficult of a video to make, as I actually had a bit of trouble finding sets that actually weren't made, which shows how much of a good job LEGO has done. But there you go. Thanks for watching. Stay tuned for all sets that need to be made from the Clone Wars and possibly Star Wars Rebels. That video will be coming up very soon, probably in the next few days. And definitely, thank you so much for watching. So definitely give this video a thumbs up. Don't forget to subscribe down below and check out some of my other reviews. This is BreakWizard59, and I'll see you all next time.